Yes, I know you're wondering, when is the next video going to come out? Well, we're going to be starting a new series. And for the rest of July and a little bit into August, we will be doing a little playlist called The Lonely Hearts Club. What might that be? Well, throughout girls' animation, it has a lot of things in common. Stories about friendship, love, fashion, anything that'll get us pumping, whether it be shopping for new shoes or fighting over who's a better friend or not. These are not their stories. Instead, we are going to be covering some of the best stuff you want to watch, even if you're not a girl. Something that goes against the norm. Something that actually applies to your life. For instance, why does Janine Melnitz sound like Lil DeVille? Or do we really need to jump on every guy we see to be in a meaningful relationship? So are girls allowed to eat more than everything on their plate, or is that just me? Join us as we look through these depictions of somewhat real-life women and empowering stories that everyone can learn from, and my interpretations of them. And if these aren't your interpretations, that's fine. Tell me in the comments. But until then, we're going to be going through July and parts of August, talking about anger, hatred, lust, anything you want to do, ladies. Welcome to the Lonely Hearts Club. Okay, so for today's video, I want to do something in honor of the Ghostbusters movie, which I haven't seen yet, so don't give me any spoilers. I will be very mad. No, I wanted to refer back to something that I just got into, the actual cartoon that Ghostbusters spawned called The Real Ghostbusters, which, if you guys have been watching Dorkly's thing, they had a video on how Filmation tried to cash in on their old Ghostbusters series, and it didn't really pan out, but here we go. I decided to look at one of the episodes that actually talked mainly about Janine. Now, to me, I think she's one of my favorite underused characters in the movies. Well, the first one, I always liked her Brooklyn accent, her glasses, her short hair, and the way that she's really able to try and keep up with all the madness. So, I always asked Fred Nader to do 107 fact videos about it, and was swiftly denied, repeatedly. So, this is me doing my own thing. One of them is Janine, You've Changed. Now, one of the things known about the show is that after season 2, producers took over and tried to make it appeal to more kids for what they thought would work. And what they thought is that Janine, the loud, Bronxy, snarky girl, was too abrasive for viewers. So they decided to give her a new voice, 2 redesigns in the next 3 seasons, change how tall she was, what her eyes look like, and all of her general interests. Instead of really being a kind of a tomboyish girl, they made her into a stereotypical girly girl who loves fashion and cooking and trying to find a date with someone else other than Egon. Now, this episode pertains to, well, just because of all the backlash the new movie has gotten about it being about girls with Ghostbusters, let me say something. In the comics, they already had a full Ghostbusters team made entirely of girls, including Janine, one of Ray/Egon students, Kylie, and 2 other women from those comic strips. So there shouldn't be any of this. And even before then, in this 80s series, Janine got to be a Ghostbuster a few times. Basically, she starts out, the guys are hunting ghosts, and Janine and Slimer are going through a scrapbook. And Slimer is looking a bit more intently. And you can obviously tell at this stage that Janine in this episode is a lot different than the one that appears in the opening sequence and in the beginning of the series. Now, this happens in season 6. Slimer looks through it and notices 2 different pictures of her, and he's wondering, what's going on? It's so weird. Now, this was just after Janine had a little pseudo-girly rant about how boys will be boys, and men are so terrible, you can't live with them, you can't live without them. And Slimer decides to show the rest of the Ghostbusters hey, something's very wrong here. And they finally realize, oh crap, we haven't noticed this for months, possibly years. So they try to scan her. She gets upset and leaves. They anticipate this and have Slimer follow her. He goes back to her apartment. She's looking herself over in the mirror. And she mentions how she doesn't believe that she's perfect enough because the guys didn't notice, in her view, anything different about her again today. Now, what's interesting is that I know that a lot of things on the internet now are anti-body shaming, anti-slut shaming, anti-whatever female shaming. This episode actually pertains a lot to it. Now, notably that there are not a lot of recurring female characters in Ghostbusters other than Dana, but Dana's not in this series. With Janine, this is her looking at herself, I guess comparing them to other people. So, and a little Disney reference, she called upon her fairy godmother. I don't know where she got a fairy godmother. Now, I was actually a little surprised there's this ghost thing that comes in, asking her what does she want. Apparently she's changed her look about 3 times this week already to get the guys to notice her. And she says, can I be a bit taller? Can I have different eyes? And can I be slimmer? The ghost grants her wish. Slimer sees all this and freaks out. The ghost notices Slimer, and they give chase with her own little hellhound. Yeah, she might be Gozer's other sister. After leading them back and Slimer explaining to the Ghostbusters what happened, they start searching for Janine. This ghost, on the other hand, is very genre savvy and realizes, okay, let's get our girl now and get the heck out of Dodge. She leads her off. Janine, being who she is at this point, still has a bit of a psychosis, but she's able to realize, well, maybe I shouldn't be completely following her, especially to the water where they claim that this ghost gets most of its energy. And the ghost tried to get back on her side by proclaiming that the guys would never understand her. They would never see her as the beauty that she is. Since all she's ever wanted was to be beautiful, she's been teased for not being conventionally pretty. And Egon, the one that she always has a crush on, eventually finds her, just from a little hint of water. And they get into a big boss battle with demonic Janine, where she starts screaming that Egon, being the guy who doesn't really know a lot of stuff, it's not science, since he's not good with social skills, and she knows this, saying that she did all for him and he did nothing, so now she became a monster for him. And he claimed that everybody loves her, and the power of love is what snaps her out of her psychosis, and she and the ghost fight. It's a lot more awesome than it sounds, especially since it's 80s cartoon animation. So it's a little choppy, but it's still awesome. After the ghost is killed, we see that the Ghostbusters are able to rally Janine. While she doesn't go back to her original appearance for whatever reason, she actually just settles in this one and decides to just be herself and to enjoy what she has. And at the end, Egon tries to kind of make up for it with a movie date. Sweet. Now, this episode is also notable because when the original head writers of the show, J. Marcus Gazagavia, I can't say his name, so don't kill me. He actually did this as his saving throw, since he left after the producers made all their random changes to what they thought kids would enjoy, including putting in more Slimer and the previous stuff said about Janine. And they brought him back on the condition he could write some of these stories and fix some of the things they did in the last 3 seasons. This was just to explain why she looks different and why the Ghostbusters haven't been noticing and why some things are weird. It actually makes the past episodes of the 3 seasons very creepy and eerie, considering that she was under the effects of a ghost at the time. Including the first episode I actually saw was on a Ghostbusters DVD, where she and Louis Tully, who I think was inserted in the 2nd or 3rd season, he came with her to the mall and they were shopping. And very interesting enough, I immediately saw how disturbing it is that she's so obsessed with shopping, she doesn't care that where she's going and she's easily captured more easily. I also believe that she's actually more easily subdued while she's under this mind control, just because of the ghost itself trying to make her a more stereotypical feminine person. Well, in the first 2 seasons, she only got captured once, and she kicked the ghost butt each time to save the guys. Not gonna lie, Janine is awesome. I think she's probably on par with Jem, and that's big coming from me. Now, Fred and Eric, can you hear my request again and please make 107 facts about the real Ghostbusters? Please. Perfect time. You did the thing for the Secret Life of Pets. Do it for Ghostbusters. Bye.